What up, everybody? All right, so I have got some work going on in the background, getting everything ready for the other side. So, Kate, I'm bringing you on with me. We got just a minute or so here. Da, 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 da. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Fix that.
How far away do you want to be? Hey.
You're like this today. How does that work for everybody? Huh?
No, we're just the eyeballs of Kate today. That's how we're going to look. We're going to be, it's all good.
Yay!
Nice to you.
Woohoo!
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Ask me again on Monday.
Tuesday. I'll ask you on Tuesday. I know what it's like.
Ask me again on Tuesday.
It's all worth it, right? I can't wait. Look at, I think there's oh, cool. I get to see Julia, Teresa, Mystery of, Rama and Danny. Nice. Frida. Nice. Get to see everybody in Vegas. Exciting.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of people coming to Vegas. It's
awesome.
Crazy cool. Ooh. I've got you like on super warp speed over here.
Oh, yeah?
Speed. Yes. Our topic today is how to go from zero to millionaire.
Oh, okay. Yay. Can we also talk about how to leverage events to get more exposure?
That is the whole premise about this. How do you think you got where you were?
True.
Mistaken.
True. What's going on, John?
Particular event.
Exciting.
It is. It was either that or it was like zero to hero. It was like all I could think of next.
That can work too. Zero to hero, I guess. Jeez. Yes. You guys are making me sound a lot more fabulous.
Just go with it. You know you are.
I'm secretly really crabby, and I sit around eating bonbons all day.
Wait, that's what I do. We both can't sit around eating bonbons all day. Nothing's getting accomplished.
Eating bonbons all day. Gosh, any bad thing that you can think about, that's exactly what I do.
Hours in front of Netflix watching just...
I do that sometimes. Everybody needs to unwind.
Yes. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I just need to sit here and pretend like nothing is going on in my world.
Yes, exactly. It's good. Everybody needs to decompress. But then there's also hustle time, which is important.
Oh, hustle time has been 6 weeks of hustle. I've never hustled. I've learned more in 6 weeks than I can probably ever tell you about marketing online, offline.
That's good. That's what happens when you got something really big in front of you. It's like all of a sudden things just happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm fully aware of that. Have no fear. Ooh, there you are. All right, I'm adjusting this over here.
Hi, Bev. Hey, Curtis. Hi, Diana. Diana Singer.
Woohoo! All right, let's go live. We're now going to be on Facebook over here. I know your time is short, so let's rock this.
All right.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Mojo hosted by Elite Marketing Pro. I am your host this evening, Chef Katrina, and I'm not wearing my chef jacket. Shocker. It's packed. That's the problem. It had to get packed away. I leave at 7:20 in the morning. My flight heads out to Vegas, so I am there nice and early. So I had to pack everything away. I was like, well, I just get to go as I am. So it'll be awesome.
It's a good thing.
Yes. So tonight I've got a very special guest. I have got the amazing Kate McShea joining us this evening. And she didn't know what I brought her on here for. I just told her she needed to get her butt over here.
Okay, blindfolded.
And then I said, guess what our topic is? And she's like, what? I said, it's from zero to millionaire. She's like, can we talk about live events? I'm like, how do you think you got where you are? It all ties into one giant bubble around here. Because I know your journey. I've seen you grow. I've seen you take this all on, and I know it all started sitting in a chair at a No Excuses event, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty timely, right?
Timely when this all takes place. But yeah, I just wanted to have you come on, kind of share your story, because yours is a really unique situation. I don't think we've got a lot of people that come into our community may not know your story of kind of like how Kate McShea came to be, right?
Sure.
From attending a No Excuses event to where you are today, that journey has been up and down. From even one of the biggest secrets, that it wasn't you that wanted to do this.
Right. So
like,
true.
You said it wasn't you. So if you can just take a moment, I know your time is short. We're probably going to keep this under 45 minutes tonight.
Sure.
But I would love for you to kind of introduce yourself to the community for those that haven't met you yet, which is shocking. I think everyone knows Kate McShea is inside Elite Marketing Pro. But for those that don't, can you just kind of give us a little backstory?
Sure. And then before I do, I mean, this is how I came on. So just let me know if you'd like me to do the whole thing like this, because I think, that would work really well with hand gestures.
That may not work only because if you're on Facebook, you're blocked by the lower third. So they may not see anything if you're down that low. I have to remove that because otherwise you're just a voice.
Drop a 1 if you guys like that better. Just kidding. You can still drop a 1 anyways. Unfortunately, I won't be doing it like that. Yeah, so you want me to give a quick little introduction on who I am, little background story, right, on kind of how things came about?
Or we can just dive right into kind of what happened at your first No Excuses, because I know it wasn't your first one.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about the actual first one, because I think the first one's really important, especially if you feel like, if you're watching this and you feel like either you've got like a spouse or a family member or a friend who just doesn't get it, okay? They just don't get your business. They don't understand, or you feel like they don't understand what your business is. And maybe it's also, there's this, you've heard before from other people, hey, how come you're doing this? Why don't you just stay with your regular job? Like, what's the point in earning this side income kind of thing? So drop a 1 in the comment section if you have that happening to you right now, or if you have experienced that in the past, okay? And the reason that that's really important, okay, cool, people are dropping 1s, great. So the reason that that's important, all right, and the reason that we'll tie it back in together with kind of where my business and my husband's business, because he's a co-founder of our company as well too, how it came about and how basically what Katrina was saying, we went from 0 to millionaire in just 4 short years, really, which is pretty cool. However, what I want to share with you guys is all of you guys who are dropping 1s, right, in the comments, would it surprise you, and you can definitely say yep in the comment section, if I was one of those people in the beginning? Yeah, I was that person where I wouldn't say I was disapproving and I was looking down on Andrew. Andrew's my handsome husband. Absolutely adore him. And he was actually the one that originally started our business. Really brief background on him is he had just basically started a sales position. He's been working with the same company for, gosh, I think it's 11 years now or 12 years, and absolutely is just passionate about what he does, loves his company. However, back in 2008, I think it was 2008 or 2009, obviously when the market crashed, he was starting a sales job in staffing where, he basically had people saying like, you probably shouldn't be working there anymore. Good thing he stuck through it because he's done amazing things. And that company is fabulous for him. However, he was looking for what I'm sure a lot of you guys were looking for is an alternate option or ways to bring in some extra income. Because I was working 4 jobs at that time. I was a 2nd grade teacher, a gymnastics coach, a tutor, and also a ballet instructor, just to try and bring in enough money for us to pay mortgage, pay our student loans, pay off debt, all that kind of stuff. And he at that time was working the sales job and being a bar back, which didn't really mean he was a bartender. It meant that he was cleaning toilets at midnight. So what we saw very, very quickly after graduating from college and spending about 2 years out in the workforce was that we were never going to see each other. And then if we had kids, we were never going to see each other, and we were never going to see our kids. So he had a vision of wanting to create a better life for our family. And I will be completely honest, I did not understand it. I didn't get it. And at that point of time, I was not open to understanding it. So me seeing him working upstairs in our second bedroom at night, being on trainings like this, I was not interested. Okay. Now, how many of you guys would like to know the best way to get your spouse or your friends or people that you really, really care about interested? Maybe you want to know? You want to drop a me? Put a me in the comments. Thanks. I have MM Beggs here. Okay, cool. So
that's Denise.
Denise. Hi, Denise. Good to have you on here. So here's what he did, which was really, really smart. And I actually am a very, very, very strong believer in timing works itself out when things need to happen and change needs to happen. So at that point in time, okay, we had literally just gotten married October of 2011, and it was right around 2012, okay? And I absolutely loved my job, loved my second grade teaching job, had actually just accepted an award in our district area for, it's basically like a teacher of the year in our elementary school, right? And I was starting to contemplate if I wanted to continue to keep teaching, right? Or if there was something else that I wanted to do, because I was starting to burn out. I was falling asleep in my car in the driveway. I couldn't even get out of my car. I was that tired each day. And what Andrew did, which was so smart, because he could start to see that, you know, I'm a very positive person and I wasn't talking as positively as I used to. And I was just stressed out. So he said, hey, I'm going to Las Vegas and I'm going to go for a networking event. Number one, it's Las Vegas. And number two, I think you would really appreciate the people that are going to be there. And that's all he said. And he said, because I'm going to learn about blank, right? And for me at that time, I was just like, all right, free vacation. It'll be fun. He kind of positioned it as, we'll go do some cool things too, but I'm also going to bring you in here so you can see what I've been doing. Because at that point in time, I was starting to say, like, you know what? Life isn't really what I thought it was going to be like at this point in time. So he took me to No Excuses. Step number one, if you want someone to become either from like unaware or disapproving to approving, take them to live events. Take them to something. So if it's a company event, I mean, No Excuses is coming up this week. Really, really great opportunity to be able to share with people kind of what you're doing and what's going on, and having other people explain it to your spouse or your friend versus you trying to have to do it. Mm-hmm. And so here's what happened. All right. So basically that first No Excuses, and that had to be No Excuses 3. Okay. I was a unaware spouse. I was literally going there to support my husband. And what ended up happening that I didn't realize was that it was absolutely life-changing for me, because I don't remember what people taught at that point in time. I don't necessarily remember too many people's names because I was so new. What I do remember is it created a spark, and it created an alternate option in my mind.
Internet decided just to completely and totally crash. And I was like, and I have no internet.
All right.
So I'm trying to get my mobile hotspot. That's not working. I grab my tablet. I'm about to go live on my tablet. It's like, oh, your internet's back up again. I was like, okay. All good.
Yes, exactly. Deep breaths.
All right. Do you remember where you were at?
Yes. I pretty much left everybody on the ledge. And
that's what we call a hook.
One thing I'll talk to you about tomorrow. Good open loop.
Open loop. We just left you hanging. It's like, oh, come back tomorrow.
So basically, and we're all set and good to go. We're on Facebook. Everything.
Yeah, we're beautiful. We're back on Facebook. We're all good.
If you guys are ready to rock, say me in the comments. I want to know. Okay, so basically the biggest thing, so I talked about Andrew invited me to No Excuses, right? To No Excuses 3. I was pretty much at a breaking point and a crossroads of what I wanted to do inside of my life and the vision of what I wanted our life to be like. So what I realized when I got to No Excuses was, from my perspective at that time, I don't really remember what the content was about. Doesn't mean it wasn't amazing. It just means that for me, where I was in that space, I wasn't ready to soak that in. Okay. And I can't tell you that I remember meeting people. I actually was afraid to talk to Fernie. I actually stood in the corner and I didn't talk to anybody. This is what happened for me though. And this might happen for a spouse or even for you when you go to a live event, is it created a spark and it created a change in my belief of what life could be like. And I had never experienced that before to the extent of what it was like literally in that 3-day weekend, where it opened up a new door of belief for me on 2 things. Number 1, that there were alternate options besides just the traditional of what I was taught of you go to school, you get a good job. If you're a teacher, you stay and you educate for 30 years, right? And you love what you do. And I did. I always felt there was something that I could be doing that could be more of an impact and a bigger impact. Second thing that I realized, which created a huge spark for me, was, wow, I'm hanging around with the wrong people. That all of these people I met were hands down the most positive, driven, focused, fun people that I had ever met. And to the point of where I didn't want to leave on Sunday, and I actually had to sprint to get onto my flight. Almost missed my connecting flight, and it was basically to the point of where I couldn't miss any more work or I would have been fired. And I'll never forget that feeling of having this pull, right? This disconnect. And I don't know if any of you have ever had that before, of where I'm sprinting to my job that I love. However, I know I'm not I feel like there's something else out there for me. And I have the fear of I could potentially be fired tomorrow. And then the other side of it, where I just figured out something that I think is going to create a really huge shift in our lives. And immediately I saw it, and immediately it was like, okay, Andrew, I get it. How can I be a part of it? And so basically what happened was Andrew was being transferred across the country. And I made the choice that year in June, I was going to leave my job with no plan B. Now, I don't recommend that for everyone. I'm not saying you have to do that. But what that did for me is it created a back against the wall feeling for me. Obviously, Andrew had his career as well still at that time. And he was going and he was getting promoted. For me, though, impact and contribution are huge. Those are really big motivating factors for me. And for me to not be contributing to my family was a big deal. And so basically I left my job in June, started up building a business in July, and did a very, very poor job of it for about 12 months. So for the first 30 days, just to make all of you feel better. And if you want to comment in and say that you've done this before, that's awesome. If you want to laugh at me at my expense, I'm cool with it too. I spent 30 days taking my business opportunity link and spamming it. So spamming it means like writing a post and putting my business opportunity link out there, basically like a Hail Mary of hopefully somebody buys, right? And I did this on top earners fan pages. Yeah, you didn't know that little snippet? Yeah, it was some very, very highly well-known top earners in the network marketing, home business, affiliate marketing space. And I would post on their page at least 3 times a day. Yeah. So, I mean, the positive is that I'm very, and someone had recommended I do this, right? So I'm very good at follow through, and I am very open and very coachable. However, I learned very, very quickly and actually got a private message that now I share with all of my students that they crack up at. I got a private message from a 7-figure earner that basically said, stop spamming your links on my page. And I was mortified because I was that new person that had no idea. I was on fire. I was ready to go. And I thought in my mind that I was going to replace my teacher's salary in that first 30 days. Like, shame on me. and yeah, I was ambitious. And the interesting thing that I learned, it was ambitious, and I had no base of understanding how I was going to do it. I had no knowledge. I wasn't really investing in me. I was bouncing around. I was buying a bunch of things. I wasn't going through them and completing them. I wasn't taking effective action, obviously. And I didn't seek out people that really knew what they were doing and had success with what I wanted to have success in. That was the big thing that I realized when I got that message from this well-known person who's actually going to be speaking at No Excuses. And we're very, very good friends now. So there is hope when you mess up like that. There is hope. So the one thing, though, that I'm actually very appreciative that happened is it taught me a couple of different things. It taught me, number one, that this is a business and I have to treat it like a business. And number two, I didn't have the knowledge that it would take in order for me to actually replace my teacher's salary. Like, for me to get my teaching degree, I had to go through 4 years of college. You know what I mean? And so for me to think that I could just leave my job and 30 days later, magically, just all of a sudden that money was going to appear back in my checking account just made no sense. I didn't have that plan, right? So I messed around for about 12 months with that mindset and would invest maybe every once in a while, but that was about it, right? And so then comes, it was 2013, and it came to No Excuses 4, I think, right? Yeah, No Excuses 4. And this was a huge pain point for me when I realized that we had been going to some events, right? And I was getting to know people. And it was the third conversation that I had at No Excuses. So my first introduction to the industry, right, was No Excuses 3. Then I come back to No Excuses 4, had met some people, some highly productive, successful people that I really looked up to. And it was the third one that came up to me and said, so how's your business going? And I was continually making excuses for the reasons that I hadn't had success yet. And I was in the red. We were in the red in our business month after month after month, and got to the point where it was we were just fed up. And I remember we were sitting in the front row, and Andrew got up and left the room. and I didn't know what to do. And both of us were just kind of fuming at ourselves, where it was that realization of we have all the knowledge, we're just not executing, and we're not getting leadership from people that know how to do it, right? We have all the tools at our fingertips. There's something that's missing. And so that night, we actually locked ourselves in our hotel room, mapped out a 90-day action plan. We had paid for VIP. There was going to be this big, huge pool party. It was supposed to be awesome. And literally we skipped it because at that point in time, the plan was important. And it was enough is enough. And we set a deadline, and it was Christmas. And it was December 31st, and we had to be at to the point where I was replacing my teacher's salary at that time. And so my monthly take-in would replace my teacher's salary, which wasn't a lot. It was $2,000 or something like that, maybe a little bit less, honestly. I think I was doing about $36,000 a year, right? So I had to make whatever was equivalent to that in order to prove that this was something that I could do. Mapped out a 90-day action plan. And the second thing that we did that was hugely important is we actually invested in mentorship that weekend. And we hopped in at that time. They had a 3-day workshop that they were doing. It was a traffic workshop. And so we knew what we needed is we needed traffic, and we needed to get good at mastering traffic, because we were promoting the system. And so we invested with Tim Roy and Fernie Ceballos and Matt Crystal that weekend. Like, I remember racing to the back of the room to fill out my application because it made it so clear to me. Like, I was trying to do everything on my own, and being this tough gal that's like, I'll figure it out, which I've never done in my life. Like, highly successful in ballet, I had a mentor for my whole life. You know, got recruited for field hockey. I had a coach in order to help me do that. Same thing with lacrosse. I had a coach. For teaching, I had a mentor. What was I thinking that I was going to start up this business and not have somebody else who's already done it before? So we knew immediately, like, these were our guys. They were the ones that we wanted to work with. And then the crazy thing that happened was about 2 months before that traffic workshop that we were going to go to, we had a 90-day action plan that we put in place in literally 3 days. So we had 30 videos. We'd done all the work. We had kind of created our SMART goal of what we wanted to do for income and how much it would take, because we were starting to do a little video marketing at that time. And literally went from, you know what, instead of doing 2 or 3 a week, we're going to do 30 in a weekend. And that was Memorial Day weekend. And then before you know it, working with these guys, we told them what we had done. They gave us some tips and tweaks. We doubled our lead flow and our sales after we worked with them. And then literally it gradually just built from, it was like, I remember watching it where it was like, we had 22 leads 1 month. I think it was back in May. And then it was like 150. Then it was 500 a month. Then it was 1,000. Then it was 2,000. And then we got to the point of where the income was the same, right? It was like negative 250. Then it was 250. Then 500. And I just remember it growing to where we had our first 4-figure month. And then we doubled that. And then we got to the point of where we were doing about 8,500 a month. And it was time for the next step of mentorship. And we created our own products and services. And we went to literally from 8,500 in a month to then our first $23,000 month the next month, and haven't stopped since. So that's the power of what happens when you take your spouse or a friend of yours that you're really close to. Now, I can't promise that that will happen. I just know that getting people to an event and allowing them to have other people do the talking for them rather than you trying to convince them. And then the other piece of it is getting in alignment with people that actually are doing what you want to do and do whatever it takes to make it happen. Yep.
Yep. So Dr. I think Alima asked a question here at the bottom. Says, are you talking about your MLM, your network marketing income, or your elite?
So it was a mix of both. Income? We were actually promoting a different affiliate system at that time. So it was an affiliate system. We were also signing people up into our network marketing company. So it was both. And then honestly, what happened, which is what happens a lot of times with businesses, is we got really, really passionate about one, and it was the affiliate system. And that's what worked best for us. And then I got really passionate about creating products. Like, I love it. I love creating products. I love being able to teach and train other people. And I found that that was the best avenue for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Ish. That isn't a great, I mean, the comments between everything from Facebook over here, it's like, there are so many people that said, you know, this absolutely resonated with me. That's where I'm at in my business. That's, you know, the different places where you've been, like, you know, the doubting spouse to getting to the event to, I think Chris even said it, he's like, it took you 3 years to kick off, you know, success. Like, you know, and you and I've had that conversation before too. It's usually the people that stick in this for a minimum of a year in action. There's so many, this industry is so easy to get.
Well, the interesting thing, and you know, the one thing that I will tell you guys, because a bunch of people are asking, like, well, what product? I keep seeing that. It actually doesn't have anything to do with the product. It has to do with two things. We had a very, very clear plan, and we executed on that plan. And actually, the bonus piece of it is that we had people that, like, so when you're building your business, it's like you're in a vacuum, right? And I'm constantly in a vacuum. Like, I'm consumed with everything I'm doing to build my plan and execute on my plan. And then that bonus piece of having other people look at what you're doing and say, hey, you might want to try this, or you might want to do that. that's what then accelerates and moves you forward in lightning speed. Now, the other piece of it I will tell you is that, so, you know, a lot of people are, you might even think like, well, you know, it took 3 years, or, you know, does it take a full 12 months? What I can tell you is our results came from 90 days. It came from 90 days of staying focused, of understanding that, you know what, that product or service, it doesn't matter what the product or service is. It matters that I execute diligently on that plan, and I promote whatever it is I'm promoting. And I just like, I am all in on that. And that literally, that 90-day sprint, actually that 3-day sprint, literally 3-day sprint is what created a 6-figure income for us. That in less than 12 months, going from 0 to 6 figures in less than 12 months for that first year of when we really started taking action. Intense focus was huge. And so it's amazing where it's like, you know, I hear it all the time, like, well, you know, what product was it? You know, what business opportunity was it? It doesn't matter, because these stories come up all the time. And so the biggest thing that I always think of is like, success leaves clues. So what were the things that people did? All these people that are having success, what are the common themes that you see, right? That's the biggest thing for me, is they go to live events, acknowledge that what they're doing isn't working, and they find other people to help them move forward with what is working and how to do it faster.
Yeah. So live events was a massive piece of putting this together and for you. So we've got this live event coming up here in, gosh, maybe, like 3 days, it seems like. Really? It's like 72 hours or less, or there's something coming up in Vegas. And I know you kind of wanted to touch a little bit on like, well, how should you attend a live event? Like, what is like the purpose? Like, so realistically,
one thing that I didn't do in the beginning that I think is a really, really great thing to do that I actually do now, is set an intention before you go to the event. So like, set an intention for those 3 days. So that doesn't mean that, and again, let's be realistic here, right? I'm not going to set an intention of, I'm going to show up on Friday and I'm going to be implementing everything possible. And I'm going to be, I look in my business bank account on Monday and I've got 6 figures hanging in there. What? Like, hey, not going to happen. But if you look at it as, my intention is to find that one spark, right? Or find that one nugget. So like for me, for NES3, it wasn't the whole event. The whole event was amazing. For me though, it was that one spark, that one change in belief was enough for me to then move me forward. For other events, for me, it's been, you know, I want to find at least 3 new people I can network with to be accountability partners with me. I had that as an intention at one time. You know, another intention would be, what was another one for me? Connecting with specific people so that at some point they might be great partners, you know, for great business partners. Or, you know what, I'm really, really focused on getting more prospects. And so I am going to become like a focused tunnel on getting more prospects. And so I'm going to take all notes possible. I'm going to pay attention to all speakers, and I'm going to pull apart all the nuggets on what they do so I can get more prospects. So that's the first thing for me, is any live event, have an intention before you go. Okay. Second thing is be incredibly open to knowing that you're going to be uncomfortable, and also that, how do I say this? Be open to know that you're going to be uncomfortable. You're probably going to be very uneasy at a couple of points of time because you'll be challenged. Anytime you're at a live event, you'll be challenged. And the other piece of that is being open to change. So what I didn't do in the beginning, even that first time, is I went into that event not with an intention, and I hid in the corner, and I allowed myself to justify, like, oh, well, they're doing that because of this, or oh, I already know that, because I didn't at that time, but I hear that a lot. of like, oh, I already know this, or I've already seen them speak, or whatever it is. Go with an incredibly open mind that this time is going to create something different, right? And open to that change, because that's the biggest thing for most people is the change of, well, what might happen? What happens if I do have success? What happens if, if I leave this event and then I don't connect with my family anymore because I'm at a totally different level than they are, or I just don't resonate, right? Leave it and just be okay with the fact that change will happen, and it's going to happen however it's supposed to happen for you that weekend. All right, next piece of advice, get involved. Now, that was really hard for me because I actually, as much as I'm happy and peppy and all that fun stuff, I'm definitely an introvert. I am actually, when you talk about energy, right? Extroverts, the energy of other people energizes them and excites them. Introverts, it sucks them, right? It makes you tired. And so I'm great. I'm good at socializing. However, it takes a lot of work for me to do that. And I had to get out of my comfort zone, and I had to be good with the fact of these people are all here for a reason, and they're all amazing people, and I need to get to know them. And so I had to put put on my presentation kind of personality, right? Of where my hands were like all sweaty and my feet were all sweaty because I had to go introduce myself to people. I have major, major anxiety when it comes to that kind of stuff. What I can tell you though, is when I did those things and I asked questions to people that I knew were having success, we got one nugget, all right, from that no excuses where we mapped out our 90-day plan. The reason we were able to map out that 90-day plan is because we asked one question to one of the leaders and one of the speakers there. He gave us literally 2 sentences of something that all of a sudden created that spark. And we went, oh my gosh, we've been doing it all wrong when it comes to video marketing. We have to do this instead. And that's what created the 90-day action plan. Wouldn't have happened if we didn't ask and we didn't put ourselves out there. Okay. So that's one of the biggest things for me. And the other piece about like getting in there, asking questions. And if you guys want to know about kind of how to ask the right questions, how to approach a leader, that's totally cool. We can talk about that too, because I've seen it done right. I've also seen it done wrong. I've also done it wrong myself. The other piece of it is document, like take pictures. I wish if I could go back, I wish I had taken more pictures in a time of struggle, because I can't tell you how great it is to show other people, like, this is where I was in the front row. And then the next year I was speaking on stage, right? And that can happen. That's what happened for us. We were in the front row, and then the next year we were speaking on that stage at No Excuses. So document, take pictures, create that journey, and make that almost like a declaration that you are going to be in a different place next year, right? So think of it like, okay, I want to document all this stuff so I can get exposure with these other leaders, with new people that I'm meeting. I'm also doing this because I will be, no matter how much success you have right now, I will be in a different space in my life, and I want to be able to show that. You know how Facebook does like memories, like here's where you were a year from now. Picture it like that. Imagine it like that, of like, oh my gosh, this was me at this event, and now 12 months, things are very, very different for me. All right. Those would be the biggest things I would suggest when it comes to live events. Anything else that you can think of, Chef, that I'm missing?
No, I think that's the big thing. Just definitely going in with an intent, like an intent to meet 5 people in the community. Yep. Right? Get to know your fellow people in this community, not just the leaders too. For me, what may be just a little bit different is I networked with the community that I was with the first time I went to my event, because I wanted to know who were the upcoming leaders in the room. So it wasn't those that were on stage that really pulled me. It was actually those that were in the audience, and those people now. It's like Nisha Wilson, where he was at. He's in there. Penny Kelly. Danielle, all these people that we sat in that one little group all trying to figure it out. And then 3 years later, it's just amazing to watch where everyone's grown and what place they went. And we were all kind of in the same place at that time. We were all hungry like really hungry, and then we just stayed connected.
What a great support system too, right? It's like you're creating your own support system of people. When you talk about, when I had that realization of like, shoot, I'm hanging out with the wrong people. I hang around with people that don't like their jobs all day and complain about children and complain about their life and complain about, the fact that their television show got canceled or whatever it is, you get a chance to make these relationships with people who are going places, right? If you're going and you're committing to going to an event, and I mean, especially No Excuses, you're making a commitment to change your life. You're a different person, right? You think outside the box, which is great. And so why not get more people that think outside the box to hang out with? It's way more fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, way more fun. There was a couple of questions going on in here. Definitely, how do you create an introduction with the leader?
So the way that I've seen it done wrong is hovering. Okay. So like think about if you're at and I actually do this very differently than I used to. So at the beginning events, I used to, like, if there's like a VIP party, right? Or if there's a break, and you'll see what ends up happening is that you'll have a lot of people who come over and they flood these leaders. And if you linger and just hover, it's fine to linger, hover, and listen, but then make sure that you have, again, an intention for connecting with that leader, right? So a lot of times I'll see people that'll just kind of like linger and not know what to do. So here's what to do. When you feel like there's a break in a conversation with people, then what you can do is say, hey, I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to take a quick 30 seconds. I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you. And so talk about appreciation first, okay? Edifying that leader. Do a little bit of research ahead of time, like know what they do, know what their specialty is. If you saw them speak, take a note on something that you thought was really, really powerful and edify that person, okay? Compliment them first, and then obviously have an intention. If your intention is to maybe do a video with them, great. Then make sure that you have that intention so that when you go up to them, you basically give them a quick compliment and say, hey, I don't know if you'd ever be open to doing a quick video with me. It doesn't have to be now. Is there any time frame this weekend that would work for you? And more often than not, most of them will be like, now works. And that's great. Yeah. So if it's a video, have your plan of how you're going to shoot that video and what you're going to say. I can give you guys a tip on that in just a second. I want to just stick with this introduction piece though. So if it's that, or if it's just as simple as you want to get a picture with them, like, hey, I don't want to take up much of your time. Totally appreciate everything that you've done this weekend. Love the part about X. Was wondering if I could just get a quick picture with you. And then take the picture, and then that's basically it, right? You can either say, hey, thanks so much. Or if you feel like there's a good time, you can say, quick question. If you were to blank, blah, 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 right? So the more structured you can be. And the interesting thing is once you do it once, you'll figure out that you basically just do the same thing the whole time and it's fine. So that's the big thing when it comes to introductions is I think the way that the problem of what ends up happening and what I did, which led to me getting incredibly mad at myself, is when you're talking to somebody else that's, of a high success, right? The thing that they don't want to hear about are the struggles that you're having right now or the problems that you're facing without solutions or without a question that leads to solutions, okay? And I'm just being straight with you guys here because I think that it's really, really helpful. Because I think what ends up happening, and we don't mean to, but as human beings, we like to talk about ourselves and we like to talk about what's going on in our lives. And so when it comes to someone who's had success, people have had success because they go and they run towards their fears. And it doesn't mean that they haven't had problems in their lives, but they've created solutions to help solve their problems. So if you want to talk about something that you're struggling with, then this is the best way to do it. Okay, you can say, hey, here's my current situation of what's going on. XYZ is going on. I've tried this. I've gotten these results. Do you have any feedback on a way that I may, be able to do something else to get me out of this current situation? Okay, so like good example. Hey, hey, Michelle Pescasolito, because she's fabulous. Hey, Michelle. So I've been doing these, this is my Facebook ad formula. I've been doing advertising for the past month. I've gotten these results. This is what I've tried to do. Do you have any recommendations on anything that I might be able to do to, you know, increase my sales or anything like that? Do you see how that's different than, hey, Michelle, you know, I tried this Facebook advertising. It's not working for me. I'm not getting any leads. And, you know, then my life stinks and my dog went to the hospital yesterday. And I think yada, 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 right? You guys get it. There's a very different approach to that. And what'll happen is that leader will see you as a completely different person. Okay. Completely different person than the person that is there kind of just talking about the problems in their lives without solutions. You're giving them solutions that you've done, and you're just open to feedback. Way better approach. Yep.
I totally 100% agree. That's how I had my millionaire lunch.
Yep. So that's how it works is people want to help other people as long as they can tell that you're someone who's open to feedback, open to coaching, and also an action-taking person.
Yep. My big thing to tie into that real quick is that even being a chef in the kitchen, my thing was don't come to me with problems, come to me with solutions to those problems, because then I can help you implement those solutions so that we can help solve that problem together. That for me is like the best place to come from, is because, you know, I may not have the best answer, but if we work together, we can always come up with some different thought process or something that could work better for you and your business. Because every single one of you guys is different. Every business is different. Every situation is different. There's no, Kate, you and I both know there's no two situations exactly alike.
Totally. Yeah. And you know what? That's a great point, because when we got those 2 sentences that I talked about that like drastically changed everything and how we were going to take action with video marketing, we went up to that person and we said, hey, totally appreciate what you said on stage. Like, absolutely love you. So happy that we could meet. Would you be open to me asking you just one quick question? That's exactly what we did. And they went absolutely sure and said, hey, we're doing video right now. These are the results that we've been getting. This is, you know, one place where we're having a little bit of difficulty. Do you have any recommendations on what we might be able to do to help us with, at that point in time, it was keyword research because it was YouTube. 2 sentences, that's all we needed. And then it was like, bye-bye. So the other side of that is going to an event, making sure that you're taking action, right? How many of you guys are going to do that? Comment in a 2 if you're going to be that person that comes in and you're taking action, right? No matter what it is. Even if it's you just started Ignition, you're watching those Ignition videos, right? You're doing anything to move forward. That's what will create that change and that shift for you.
Looks like they're all taking it on.
Love it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, they're taking it on, taking on the challenge.
I love it.
That means I'm going to see all of you guys at No Excuses, which is even more exciting because I'm sitting here like just checking out everybody on Facebook. Courtney's going to be there. Natalie's going to be there.
Good. Get to see some peeps I haven't seen in a while. It's exciting.
I know. It's like going to be a big
it's like a family reunion, right? They're super fun.
So just so you guys know, there's a slight teaser behind all this too, that this is going to be the first time in the history of a live event that the entire No Excuses team will be present for you to meet. And by that, I mean that you guys are going to get to meet the entire customer support division, Mara, Tracy, Claire, Hillary, Andrew, Vitali. Like, you are literally going to meet Ramiro, Fernie, Tim Irway, Matt Crystal, myself. It'll be 13 of us, which is what runs this company and provides all the support for you guys, is going to be present for the very first time together.
That's awesome.
So you guys, like, it's a really amazing moment for you guys to get to meet all of us. And as we're growing, right? So this is going to be the core of who we are. And then we are continuing to grow as a company. So the fact that you guys get to meet all these people that have been hitting you, like helping you in, I saw hitting the bottle. So all of a sudden, hitting the bottle. Your water bottle there. Yeah, but so like for those of you guys that have gone and talked with our support team and get all those messages, like you get to meet them. And I think that's like one of the coolest things about this event is that you guys get an opportunity to really meet and see this company like toe to toe, face to face, belly to belly. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited. It's like one big family. So all of us like are in the background, like, oh my God, it's gonna be like a family reunion. Like we can't wait to see each other.
No, it's great. And that's kind of the cool thing of what can happen when you surround yourself with the right people, right? That motivate you, inspire you, push you, which is great, you know, challenge you to be bigger and to be better. I mean, it's just proof that this community is amazing because who runs it and the team is absolutely amazing. So it's like people, so think about that, right? I always think about that where it's like people can't wait to see each other versus when a lot of people that you might work with, right, are like, can't wait to get home and not see who they work with.
Did they call in sick today? Because I don't want to see
And so, I
them.
mean, it's like, that's the amazing thing of being able to surround yourself with people like that. And I think the biggest thing then is be bigger and bolder than you may ever expect that you could be. And I have a very, very strong feeling that you'll surprise yourself with the results that come from that. So anytime you catch yourself, and this goes for if you're at No Excuses, this goes for if you're at home, this goes for if you're at another live event, like your company event. If you have a moment where in your head, it says, you know, you can't go talk to that person. You're not worthy of talking to that person, or just skip the party and go out, or, you know, don't go to day 2, whatever it is, right? When you hear that, say thank you because it is creating awareness that you need to go in the opposite direction. Okay. So thank it because what it's doing is it's trying to keep you comfortable. And so thank it and appreciate it for trying to keep you comfortable, and then make the completely, whatever would be opposite of that. Okay. That's my biggest suggestion. Cause I know that, I've done it myself, and I know there's so many things that have held me back. Like if we were to put what's it called? A price tag on it, multiple 6 figures, if not 7 figures, on moments where I did not step up because I allowed that voice to say, they don't want to do a video with you, or you don't need to ask them that question. You know, life's good enough. And I'm telling you, like, learn from my mistakes and say thank you, appreciate it for what it is, and then go and run in the complete opposite direction. And I have no doubt that you will drastically surprise yourself.
Yep. Gloria on here said, Kate, I was afraid to talk to you and ask if I could get a photo with you.
Oh, well, Gloria, now I'll have to take another photo, and I can't wait to give you a big hug when I see you. Because isn't it amazing? We took that photo, and I'm so impressed with everything that you've been doing as well.
Yeah. It's perfect. All right. So, Kate, just before we wrap up, because I know you've got some stuff coming up on your plate here in just a few minutes, can you give us a sneaky peek? Just a little hint of what you're going to possibly be talking about. Yeah. I mean, for those that are coming to the workshop, first off, for those coming to the workshop, she's going to be training there, but that's not what I'm asking.
I will be training there.
Not what I'm asking. I want to know what little nugget of information, just maybe a little tease, leave an open loop, and then hang up real quick. Like, we're going to talk about.
Oh, do you guys really want to know? Because I'm not going to share unless, you know, I get a little bit of feedback. So
does anybody want to know what Kate's going to be sharing from stage at No Excuses that's going to be a game changer for your business? Like, really, honestly, there's like, if you don't want to know,
I'll go that's fine. From my water bottle.
We'll talk to the water bottle. We'll just call it quit now. Okay, yeah. So we got like screaming over here on Facebook. And then,
so when I talked with Fernie about what I was going to cover, one of the biggest things that I see is that one of the biggest lucrative profit machines that we have had inside of our business are webinars. Okay. Super, super powerful. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the aspects of, you know, how to create a webinar that sells, that stuff that you have in your back office. One of the biggest struggles that I see with a lot of people, even if you're not doing your own webinars, or you can call them online live events, whatever you want to call them, even if you're not doing them yet, one of the biggest obstacles that most people come across is actually how to get people to register, especially when you don't necessarily have a following yet, right? Everybody thinks that you have to do webinars when you've got this big, massive following. You can just basically put it out there and people register. It's actually not the case. And I'm going to be sharing with you my secrets, and I might just keep it at that, my secrets and my nuggets on how to actually get people to register for your events, for your webinars, and how to do it in a way that builds rapport, a way that basically preconditions people to buy, and a way that gets people to pretty much fall in love with who you are. So that's a little taste, and there may be some examples, maybe.
So I want to sit and see it. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Just,
Yep.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Well, guys, I have got to wrap this up with Kate because, like I said, I just know that she's on a time crunch. She's gonna have a doorbell ringing here very
Gotta
shortly.
go sign some documents.
But really, truly, Kate, I can't, express what a great honor it is to have you come on to these Monday Mojos to share for the incredible contribution you've put into this community. Just watching you grow, the success you continue to have, our friendship as it continues to develop. I mean, really, you're amazing. And I know I can't wait to see you again at No Excuses, guys. This is amazing. So thank you for your knowledge, your input, your training. It's priceless.
Thank you
really
so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to give you a hug, virtual hug, see everybody else, and also meet all of you that I haven't met before. Please, please come out, find me. You know what I look like now. Come find me, come give me a hug, introduce yourself. Let's definitely connect. I'm there. The reason I'm there is I am there to help. I am there to be of service. I am there to help impact you. So please utilize me. Please reach out to me. And if you are not able to come, because I know sometimes that happens, and I think tickets aren't even available anymore, or it's like it's time to go, right? Like maybe you have like
today. Like you got like
oh my gosh, then you have to come. All right. So if tickets aren't closed out yet, then you have to come. Do whatever it takes to get your ticket and come. I want to meet you. I want you guys to meet all these fabulous people, including all the other speakers and all the other awesome success stories that are just waiting to happen in the seats, okay? I want you guys to get your ticket. Yeah. If for some reason you are you aren't able to make it, pay attention to the social media and pay attention to what's happening, what's being documented, all that good stuff, because I know they're going to be doing a ton with that too, all right?
Yeah, Hillary's got a spreadsheet, guys, of what she's going to be sharing and documenting and putting out there. You guys have never seen EMP do social media like we're about to do.
Got it. Nice. Good. So then definitely plug in, play along. But more important than anything, since tickets aren't closed yet, just get your ticket. Do whatever's possible to get there. Yeah. I can tell you for me, it was absolutely life-changing. I wouldn't be where I am right now. I know it. I would not be. Well, if I was, it would probably have taken me 15 more years to realize what needed to be done. So just do whatever possible and come.
Yeah, I agree. It was No Excuses 5 that changed everything for me. Without that one, I would not be where I am here today. So get there. All right, go. Thank you, Kate, so much, guys. See you inside the communities. Stay tuned for our Daily Dose of Awesome tomorrow, coming live from you from Vegas, because I'll be there by 9 in the morning. So Kate, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you in Vegas in a couple days.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.